Unity, a cross-platform game engine that allows creators to build 2D and 3D games, as well as AR/VR games. This is one of, if not the most popular game engine used in the game development industry. Now, assuming you have actually seen the title and thumbnail, you might be wondering why you're learning Unity and only in 7 days. You see, for the past 3 to 4 years, I've been creating games which aren't so great. If you want to check them out, feel free to click the link in the description. And for these past years, the programming language I had been using was Python.
What?
And as you can imagine, I have had many problems and limitations building games. Obviously, because Python isn't made for making games. In order to fix this issue, I need to expand my game dev knowledge to tools that are actually built for game development, which is why I want to learn Unity. But why in 7 days? I just thought it would be a fun challenge. So without further yap, let us finish this intro. This day had not too much heavy learning. What the fuck did I write? The majority of the day was spent on me learning C Sharp by watching C Sharp full course by Brocode, which by the way, he's actually really good at teaching. At first I thought, I don't think I'll be understanding that much. The way he explained the keywords and how to use them actually made my monkey brain understand. So, as the big creator I am, I will give the link of this video in the description. I didn't learn the whole language though. Just look at the video length, bro. And what the hell is a polymorph? Poly, polymorph, whatever the hell that is. After that, I decided to start a bit of the Unity learning by watching a tutorial by Game Maker's Toolkit, where he teaches how to make a 2D game by making a bootleg Flappy Bird. No offense. I've already yapped enough for this day, so let me give you a quick summary of what I did for the rest of the day. But before the video continues, I'm going to be keeping some Subway Surfers gameplay in the background because I know your guys' attention span is like 50 seconds and I don't want this video's attention to go down, so yeah, enjoy. I started off by setting up Unity exactly how he tells us to do, then yoink his assets cause I'm too lazy to make my own. Started setting up a camera, then the bird, then giving the bird some physics. And we got to the coding part, which I was low-key waiting for, and just added a couple of lines of code for the bird to jump when we press the space key, and also added these pipes over here, like in the original game. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the day. Moving on to day 2. Move on, bro. Alright, it's day 2 and I got a lot of things done this day. Remember these pipes? Well, in day 1 we just rendered it and added a rigid body, basically a hitbox on it. Well, the whole point of Flappy Bird is for this bird to go through an infinite amount of these pipes, and if it touches a pipe, it's game over. Well, today we are sort of implementing that. First, we make a whole blueprint of this pipe right here and duplicate it, and duplicate it further, and duplicate it further, so that multiple pipes can spawn. But instead of manually doing this, we can make a script for automatically creating new pipes whenever the bird is going forward. Oh, and just so you know, the bird isn't actually moving forward. It's an illusion of the background moving backward to make it look like the bird is moving forward. After adding infinite pipes, I make each have different heights like in the original game. And voila, look, it's basically the game done. But the problem is, it looks trash, low-key. There's no menu, no goal, just a pink circle-shaped bird jumping inside of pipes for eternity. So let's fix that. So first we add a score system. We achieve this by adding the UI, by clicking here, then bing boom, bada bing ding. What? Typing noises and yay, score system? It seems a bit off. Oh yeah, it has to increase when the bird goes to the pipe. That's the whole point of this score system, right? We can just create a rigid body in between these pipes. Let's call it our trigger. Disable collisions, and when the bird goes through the body, it will increase the score. Anyways, I did that, and now we have a score system. Yay. Well, that's pretty much it for day 2. Managed to recreate a shitty version of Flappy Bird that runs at 30 FPS. Now let's move on to day 3. Before I talk about my progress in day 3, if you see the game we created here, it doesn't really look that complete. That's because 1, I added a game over menu but my dumbass forgot to record it. 2, there's a little part of this video where he says,
but the game isn't quite finished yet. There's still a few more things to figure out, though I don't want to tell you how to do everything. So I'm going to give you some suggestions for how to finish up the game, but I want you to try and figure it out for yourself.
Then he goes on suggesting some features to add to the game. But instead, I wanted to make a whole platformer by myself. Not like a fully fledged platformer, just one with a player. Some tiles, some parkour. Because we don't have much time to make an entire game. Getting to day 3, I started off by setting up the player with assets I've already made a while back. Well, now we can just add the player, add some tiles, and voila, a game. But there is a big boulder. And what is this mysterious boulder? Well, the assets look shit in game. Why is it shit? I didn't know at the time, and I tried to figure out why for a whole goddamn 3 hours. See, in games, you have a camera, and this camera basically follows the player so that you can get the perspective of the player. Well, for 2D pixel games, you need a pixel camera, or so I thought. Actually, I was figuring out a problem which shouldn't even be existing. All I had to do was go to the image properties and change a few things like these settings over here. But my dumbass couldn't figure that out for a whole 3 hours. Dumbass motherfucker. Anyways, basically no progress was made on this day, unfortunately. Yeah, no, this is where the day ends. I straight up rage quitted. I got so pissed off from trying to fix this and finding no solution that it gave me some clarity. Like, bro, I'd rather go touch grass. Yeah, I know it's a bit abrupt. Sorry about that. But the next day, I think we're going to make a lot of progress. Anyways, let's move on to day 4, shall we? So it is day 4, and we made, you can say, some progress. Off camera, I fixed the images from looking like that one Patrick and SpongeBob gif to looking back to normal. Most of this day was spent on me figuring out how to add things to the game and going through trial and error. For adding platforms and tiles to the game, it took me about 30 to 40 minutes to figure it out. And I had realized that you can use something called a tile padlet, where you can add in your tile images and basically make a whole layout of the map for the game, which I find a bit cool because you're basically just painting a whole map like this, and it's so easy. Anyways, I made the map with this method, gave the player some movement, like moving left, right, jumping up, and yeah, pretty much it for day 4. What? That's it, Deaf Kid? That's all you did? Okay, before you start flaming me, alright, it took me a while to figure out stuff on my own and also struggling to adjust the jumping velocity and frames dropping problem. Anyway, let's go to day 5. Alrighty, day 5, just 2 days left. Wow, time really flies, huh? Anyway, we started off by fixing the tiles again. For some reason, the player just randomly gets stuck. It's always a specific block, so I decided to make some changes to the tile system, which may have been causing this problem. When that was done, I looked at the game, then realized this player is literally just a still image, moving around. This looks ass. Let me fix that. So I decided to finally add animations to the player, which I've already made beforehand. I couldn't figure it out on my own, and I felt lazy, and I decided to watch a tutorial on YouTube, and this video by Game Code Library was actually really informative. Although it was a bit confusing, she was teaching it in such a way that my monkey brain could actually process it. As the big creator I am though, I'll give her channel link along with the exact video in the description if you want to learn Unity too. Anyway, after adding animations and the player becoming prime Michael Jackson, I then realized, oh shit, there's only 2 days left and I haven't learned 3D yet. I then proceeded to go outside and touch grass because I had plans that day and left that issue for another day. Totally not procrastinating. The last 2 days of the challenge, This is where I have to log in. You thought this was tough? We'll wait till you see how 3D is going to be like. Is what I thought I was going to say until I actually started. Even for people who are just starting off in game dev, learning how to develop 3D games is only like slightly harder than 2D games in my opinion. Many people sort of exaggerate it, but hey, again, that's just my opinion. For day 6, I decided to log the fuck in, and I'm going to be learning Unity 3D by watching the one and only Brackeys. Listen, I know the tutorials are like almost a decade old, but I was too lazy to search for any other creator who might be better than Brackeys, alright? Alright, so I'm gonna speedrun through this because I think the video is getting too long. I start off by adding a cube to make it into a platform, then add another cube, make it blue or turquoise for some nerds, and call it Bob. Then added some physics by pushing Bob forward. I low-key had too much fun with this. I think I wasted like over 20 minutes over pushing Bob. Then I created movement like this, so you can move left, right, up, down, forward and back. Then we remove the forward movement and make it automatic. Then we add a cube here. The goal is to dodge these, by the way. We take this cube here, we call it our obstacle, duplicate it until we make a random layout like this. And this will be our first level of the game. And yeah, that's pretty much it for day 6. Did more than, the previous days. So let's move on to day 7. Alright, day 7, the final day of the challenge. If I haven't logged in the previous days, this is where I have to. And I did some off camera work like completing the map for level 1, then adding some fog to add some depth. I mean, like, look at this. Doesn't this look cool? Then I start adding the GUI for the game. Like, buttons and menus in a game, right? That's called the GUI. Starting off with the score. If you're wondering how does the score work here, well, the score increases the more distance you cover. And for these levels, the score does look short because the levels are short. Then I created a game over screen. Technically, it does not show anything, but it restarts the game when you hit an obstacle. We achieved this by using scenes in Unity, and I have a script that manages the scenes. So whenever we start the game, it's starting a scene, and when we hit the obstacle, we basically start up the scene again. Then I use the same logic to add this UI over here, then continue to the next level. Doesn't this look cool, guys? Doesn't this look so smooth? I then create the main menu, where the game is called the shitty cube. So then I proceed to add two buttons: play for playing the game and quit for if you wanna quit. And just like that, the game is done. Now you can see the final product. And the challenge is finally done. This is where you can click off. But before clicking off, I would just like to say that if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Of course, I'm not forcing you to do it. If you don't like my video, then you don't have to do anything. If you have noticed any mistakes that I've made in this video, feel free to comment it down below because I already know that I've made a couple of mistakes and you know there are some flaws in this video. Honestly speaking, I did not do my best in these 7 days. As you can see in days 4 to 5. And I have acknowledged that I pretty much have had wasted my time in these days. And I wish I could have utilized it better. But hey, at least I learned Unity. And making it a challenge to myself and adding time constraints made me focus more than if I had just learned it normally. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Tune in for more videos. And for now, DevKit is out.